In January 2026, Tesla began mass-producing humanoid robots at its Fremont factory. Not prototypes, not demos. Production units, over 1,000 already working the line. At the same time, Chinese companies shipped more humanoid robots in a single year than every American robotics firm combined. And the part that should concern you? This was never supposed to happen this fast. If you've been following the humanoid robot space, you've probably seen the flashy demos. Robots doing backflips, dancing on stage, folding laundry in perfectly lit labs. And you've probably thought the same thing most people think. Cool. But that's years away from actually mattering. It's not anymore. 2026 is being called the first year of mass production for humanoid robots. Tesla, Boston Dynamics, Figure AI, and a wave of Chinese companies aren't just building these machines. They're deploying them in factories, on assembly lines, doing jobs that humans did last year. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly which robots are replacing which jobs, who's winning the global robot race, how fast costs are dropping, and what it actually means for the future of work. And once you see the numbers, you can't unsee them. But here's what most people miss. The Tesla Optimus update isn't just about scale, it's about cost. When production hits 1 million units, the cost per robot drops to between $20,000 and $25,000. That's less than 1 year's salary for a warehouse worker. And the robot works 24/7. No breaks, no benefits, no turnover. Goldman Sachs predicts the humanoid robot market will reach $38 billion within the decade. Barclays says $200 billion by 2035, and that market barely existed 3 years ago. This is where it gets interesting. Almost nobody talks about this. But the real story isn't just Tesla. It's the global race happening behind the scenes. China is moving faster than anyone expected. Unitree Robotics shipped over 5,500 humanoid robots last year, more than Tesla, Figure AI, and Agility Robotics combined. Their target for 2026, 20,000 units, 4 times last year's output. And then there's UBTECH. They've already begun mass delivering their Walker S2, a full-size industrial humanoid robot working on assembly lines at NIO, Zeekr, and BYD. Their plan, 5,000 units in 2026, 10,000 by 2027. RBC Capital Markets estimates the global humanoid market could reach $9 trillion by 2050, with China accounting for more than 60%. Now, this is where it gets dark. The U.S. government is reportedly preparing an executive order to accelerate the robotics industry. This isn't a technology race anymore. It's a geopolitical one. Whoever builds the most capable, cheapest humanoid robots doesn't just dominate manufacturing, they reshape the entire global labor market. On the American side, Figure AI's robots already contributed to producing 30,000 BMW X3 vehicles at the Spartanburg plant in South Carolina. The Figure 02 ran 10-hour shifts, Monday through Friday, loading sheet metal parts with millimeter precision. They have now retired the 02 and are rolling out the Figure 03, faster, more reliable, with 30 degrees of freedom and voice command AI. Boston Dynamics showcased a production-ready Atlas at CES 2026. It has 56 degrees of freedom, can lift 110 pounds, and runs 4 hours on a single battery with hot swappable autonomy. Hyundai has ordered 30,000 of them, and this is where the real money is. This next part surprised even me. Right now, humanoid robot productivity sits at about 30 to 40% of a human worker's output. That sounds safe. That sounds like you've got time. But UBTECH expects that number to hit 80% by early 2027. And the gap closes faster than you think. Because robots don't just improve linearly. Every robot in the field sends data back to the neural network. The fleet learns together. It's the same principle that made Tesla's self-driving get better with every mile driven. Pay attention to this next part. The jobs being replaced first aren't random. They follow a pattern. Robots replacing humans starts with what the industry calls the 3 Ds: dangerous, dirty, and dull. Welding, warehousing, quality inspection, material handling, palletizing. These are the jobs disappearing first. A single humanoid robot can replace 5 skilled workers on certain tasks and work continuously for 8 hours. In China, manufacturers are already buying them in bulk because the math just works, especially when production costs are dropping 20 to 30% per year. IDC projects a 48% compound annual growth rate for humanoid robots in industrial settings from 2026 to 2030, 52% in medical rehabilitation. The compound effect of that growth is staggering. Pause. But wait, it gets worse. Or better, depending on which side you're on. 1X Technologies is taking $20,000 deposits for home robots, shipping in 2026. Not factory robots, home robots, the kind that folds your laundry, organizes your kitchen, and eventually, if the roadmap holds, handles elderly care. We're not talking about the distant future. We're talking about price points and shipping dates. If this breakdown is helping you see where the humanoid robot industry is actually heading, not the hype, but the real numbers and the real players, that's exactly what this channel does every week. Hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Takeaway 1. 2026 isn't the year humanoid robots arrive. It's the year they ship. Tesla, Unitree, UBTECH, Figure, Boston Dynamics. They're all in mass production mode now. The prototyping phase is over. Takeaway 2. China is currently outpacing the US in early commercialization of humanoid robots. The numbers aren't even close yet, but American companies have deeper AI advantages. And this race is just getting started. Takeaway 3. Once a humanoid robot costs less than 1 year of a human worker's salary and operates around the clock, the economic pressure to adopt becomes unstoppable. We're approaching that crossover point right now. The question was never whether robots would replace workers. The question was when the math would make it inevitable. In 2026, the math arrived. Now, if you think humanoid robots are the biggest disruption coming for the human body, wait until you see what Neuralink is doing to the human mind. Brain chips, direct neural interfaces, humans merging with machines, not from the outside in, but from the inside out. That video is next. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss it. I'll see you in the next one.